Welcome to the last episode of Pokemon Go Sinnoh Tour Reality Trip. First things first, to the very few people who viewed the videos when they first released, but the people who are viewing them after they released, thank you. Thank you so much for watching this series that I worked so hard on and recorded so many clips on my phone that some of them weren't even able to finish. And I hope that after this, I can make a series like this again. And this time when they release, it actually garners a little bit of hype. And I worked really hard on this series, so I'm glad that I can finally put this series to a nice, satisfying conclusion. Okay, so with that, let's move into the premise of this video. Today's video will just be covering everything. What do I think they could have done better about the event? What do I think about the event was good? What do I think about the event was bad? There's a lot of stuff that I think about the event that was really bad. And also, what do I think they could have done better in certain situations during the event? Also, what do I feel like they could have changed? What do I feel like was favoritism, and definitely plain favoritism, towards the in-person players compared to the global players? So let's get into it. Raids. Raids were amazing during this event, and here's why. Raids were honestly really fun. I couldn't get away from them, and every single time I saw something I wanted to raid, I would kind of just raid it. And obviously, that's because of the time-space anomalies, because these were one of the best new features for an event they've ever introduced. It made every hour feel different. It made it so that it's like, oh, well, now the spawns have changed, but looky what we have here. We have a Hisuian Pokemon. There's not just Sinnoh Pokemon to hunt in the wild, and honestly, I like that. But the reason why raids were so fun is because it was fun to raid the origin form and then get the normal form and like hunt for the origin shinies and then the normal shinies, and then also it was nice to just see the Hisuians in raids. And I was seeing people raid some of the Hisuian Pokemon and who loved the idea of this, to the point where it's probably a good enough feature to make a reappearance during GoFest, which I would also love. The habitat system has always been kind of stale since its introduction. Nothing about it has really changed since its introduction. It's just always stayed the same exact thing. Here's the thing though. When they introduced this new way to do habitats, it felt different. We all got what we wanted, and it felt like a different experience than what we're used to. Now, here's with cons. If you are a free-to-play player, and all these events are free-to-play for you, just don't raid if you want the origin shinies, because you only got one raid pass that day. And I think 2 raid passes. I don't know. But you only got one raid pass that day. And damn, that's just insane. Let me go over what I'm talking about, because it's crazy. Okay, what am I talking about here? Usually during events like these, you get free raid passes. And I'm going to make a comparison here, and I'm trying to lean away from that. That comparison is to GoFest 2023, where if you bought the $15 ticket, you would get 9 extra free raids, which I'm pretty sure would add on to the 2 that you had during that day, giving you 11 free raids probably. I don't know really, but it's fine with me. And I liked this, honestly. It was an amazing way to get people to like spend money on your event. And then after spending those $15, you no longer have to spend any money on the event. This is where the scam part gets in, because this is also kind of insane, but you had a $5 ticket option during this event, where you could buy a $5 ticket, which would give you some very good amount of raid passes. Specifically, would give you 2 extra raid passes for the Sinnoh Tour event. Cool, right? Just the amount you need. No, it's not, bro. You can barely raid with that. This is the part where I'm mainly going to just start flaming the hell out of Niantic, because no one talked about this. They don't notice how much some people really do rely on these free raid passes that you get during these events, because guess what they can't buy? Raid passes. I can buy raid passes. I had money, so I bought raid passes because I wanted some. People can't sometimes. And sometimes their whole life isn't just dumping money into this game. Like me. I probably spent like 1K dollars on this game, but who cares? Who cares? That's subjective. But there's no need at all for an event to be this expensive when it comes to just rating. It's just so dumb. I don't understand who thought that was a good idea, but it wasn't. You were not cooking. You were not a chef in the kitchen. Oh my gosh. What could they have possibly done to make this part of the event better? Well, there's a very easy answer to this question. Maybe make it so that when you buy the ticket during the Road to Sinnoh event, you get 4 free raids in total for that whole entire event. But when we get to the global event, then you get your $5 worth. And the tickets end up going from just 2 extra raid tickets to 9 extra free raid tickets, equaling to 11 free raids for the event alone. And honestly, I feel like they really missed out by not doing this. It was a really good idea, probably, to separate the idea of the Road to Sinnoh event from the actual Senator event. And since I only bought the raid ticket, it felt very unworth it. Because for $5 with a raid day ticket, per example, Hisui, and this is why raid day ticket, I would get exactly 16 free raids for the whole entire day, which is just absolutely insane. And looking at that, it just has me wondering, did I really waste my money on a $5 ticket that doesn't even give me what it's worth? It's just absolutely insane. Probably the worst thing to come out of this event was the eggs. Oh my gosh, these things were horrible. And first of all, there's actually no pros at all. Eggs are horrible. They are literally the best gambling method Pokemon Go and Niantic have ever came up with in their scummy lives. Yo, this event's eggs especially were the worst thing on the freaking planet. I'm not gonna point fingers and name, but I had this friend of mine and stuff. He was in the group that I was playing with, and guess what? He was hatching eggs all day. All day. And you want to know what he got? You want to know what he got? You want to know what he got? It's absolutely insane. Nothing. He got absolutely nothing. Yeah, he got a few dex entries, but he got absolutely nothing. Literally nothing. I've never seen somebody get more nothing in one day. Literally nothing came out of those egg hatches. And all the money that he spent on those eggs, he could have used to buy himself some groceries. Groceries. It's pretty nice. He could have used to buy himself a Nintendo Switch. Hey, Pokemon ZA is coming out soon, so that would have been cool. He could have used that money to buy tickets to go see Deadpool 3 in July 26th. Please go watch that movie. Please. It looks pretty good, honestly. He could have used that money to buy literally anything, but instead he spent it on a gambling method. Which, honestly, money is money, and I'm not judging him for doing this. I'm judging Niantic for making it so bad and causing for him to, suffer the consequences of making a kind of good decision. Okay, you know what? Since Niantic won't apologize, I'll apologize to my friend for him. Man, I'm sorry, bro. I'm so sorry you weren't able to hatch a single shiny out of them eggs, bro. I'm actually, kind of sorry for you. I'm not gonna lie. I feel bad. I want to give you $100, but I'm also broke now, so yeah. I feel bad, and I'm sorry for you. They ripped you off. They scammed you. There's nothing good about the eggs. You think there's something that you can take away from this? Make the egg shiny rates better. Man, I've never been more done arguing about something, man. Let's just move on, bro. The egg rates were horrible. They were horrible. They had my voice cracking and stuff. If you don't know, I'm crying right now. I'm literally crying right now. The egg rates have me crying. I'm crying. Spawns and habitats. Oh, I forgot I even put this on the script. Okay, before we get into the spawns and habitats, which were actually shockingly good and almost had 0 flaws, let's first things first get into the big part about this. My conspiracy theory: Yuxi, Mesprin, and Azoth were not meant to be spawning in the wild for this event. That's it. You're not getting any more context after that. Okay, spawns. The spawns were all good. Yeah, every single habitat was actually really nice to grind spawns in. Even the bustling boardwalk habitat had something you wanted. But here's the thing. The bustling boardwalk habitat only had shiny hunts that you'd want. And most of the shinies there were not boosted, meaning it was tough to actually find shinies. Let's move into the cons now, with the fact that most of these habitats that had shinies you wanted were not shiny boosted. Meaning if there was a shiny Pokemon that you really wanted or needed to complete the family, there was a very low chance that you'd get it, and you'd probably just get random shinies. But another pro is the fact that, like I said, time-space anomalies just carried this event. They did everything the event wanted to do, basically, like including Hisuian Pokemon in it. And the spawns just got better. And luckily, the Hisuian Pokemon did seem like they got boosted eventually. Like, Niantic noticed that, these are the Pokemon people are going to have to grind. And they don't have enough Pokemon boosted in the events that are in the wild. And only a few of the Pokemon are boosted. But also, they had this little thing where during the research, if you picked a starter, like if I chose Charmander, which I did choose Charmander, Charmander would be shiny boosted, and the other two starters would not be shiny boosted. Well, they'd be shiny boosted, but not as much as Charmander. So I got 2 shiny Piplup and 2 shiny Charmander as well. So that's cool, I guess. But honestly, the Wild Spawns event were good, but the problem is shiny odds were horrible. Okay, to end off today's video, what are my final concluding thoughts on this event? If you thought Horn Tour was horrible, oh my gosh, you were just not ready for this one. This event doesn't feel full. It doesn't feel whole. It doesn't feel completed. And I'm not talking about the in-person one. Because judging from the context of the gameplay from that in-person event, it seems like it was an amazing event. Almost everything about that event seems like it was perfect. Like literally going to be the best event of the year, even when we get to GoFest season. Which hopefully the global version of that event does not fall to the same standards of this event, because this event lacks a lot of stuff. It lacks bonuses, it lacks bonus content, it lacks just stuff to do in general. It just feels like a very incomplete event, and that's probably where its downfall mainly comes from. This event feels like a afterwards to the best event of the year and the coolest lead-up event of the year. It feels like a after party to the Sinnoh tour in person in Los Angeles. It feels like this was not the product they wanted to finish everything off with. And Los Angeles was what they put most of their effort into. And it's probably the truth as well. They put most of their effort into Los Angeles. That's probably the truth. And I'm going to have to deal with that truth. And honestly, at this point, I don't care about that. I really don't. So with that, it's your boy Sablis signing out. And this event was bad.